What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another Sinoalice video here on the channel. And with the Gran Colosseum starting on August 9th, I thought it'd be a cool thing to do to kind of go over a little bit of just cliff notes of what you guys are going to have to do to take part of it. The three weapons for sure that should be in the first shop exchange, and how good they are, and should you do Gran Colosseum or regular Colosseum. So first of all, let's get the out of the way. According to my sources, now all this can change because we're just going off of what JP did, what I've heard. So don't take anything I'm about to say as gospel when it comes to how much things are going to cost to exchange, how you sign up, how long the actual fighting period is going to be. Because as of right now, all we know for sure is the entry period is going to be from August 5th until August 8th. You're going to have from that time period to register your guild to take part in the first Gran Colosseum event. So, according to what I've heard from Spoot and the other JP players, is that this is normally a 5-day period of when you're fighting each day. Which would basically be 5 Gran Colosseum matches, and you're going to get different rewards based on how well you do. So, it says here, the Gran Colosseum is a ranked event that pits guild against guild. Determine who is the strongest guild of all. Only guilds who submit an entry can participate. Guilds planning to participate submit their entry by the following dates: by the guild master or sub guild master. And then it says the preliminaries are going to be from the 9th to the 15th. So that actually is 6 days. And then the finals, it says, are going to be on the 16th for the United States and European servers. So according to this, it looks like this is going to be basically for a full week if you make it to the finals. So, which, unless you're like in a super high whale guild, probably won't happen. But, you never know what happens depending on rankings and matchups and things like that. But at any rate, it looks like if you do make it to the finals, you should be going for the full week. So hopefully if you don't make it to the finals and you did sign up for the Gran Colo, like the last day you can do regular Colosseum, I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. But we'll see once this all comes out of basically what happens. So, but overall, it's a pretty cool thing. From what I've heard, you're going to get special Gran Colosseum exchange medals. You're still going to get charm medals. You're still going to get nightmare material for enhancing. And you also will get the opportunity to get Twilight Gems. So that is a very good incentive to do well. Now, we'll have to see what the actual rewards will be for sure for as far as losing, winning, and participation, things like that. But one thing to note that I do know for sure is that you will get more rewards, I believe even if you lose, based on the amount of life force you've done. So even if you've gotten blown out of the water, it does behoove your guild to continue to fight as well as you can up until the end of the match, because basically most people in regular Colo, once it's over, like you're down by like 200k or something like that, there's no chance of coming back. A lot of people will just switch to auto and just let the timer run out. But for your guild's sake, your guild's going to get mad if you guys do that. So if you guys, even if you are going to lose, it definitely makes the best possibility, especially for the DPS units, to keep fighting as best they can until the end of the fight, regardless if you win or lose. So according to my sources, that's what's going to happen. Next, we have the Half Nightmare class, special class, which is going to be for Alice, which is going to be a paladin. And you guys see here, it is going to have special abilities and drawbacks as well for using this class. So you definitely want to emphasize your spears and your paladin type weapons as much as you can, because while your polearm skill effect is increased by 30% for this Half Nightmare class, your heavy and projectile skill is going to be decreased by 75%, and then your projectile skill is going to be decreased by 75%, and then your blade will have the same effect. So the blades will not have an increase or decrease on this. So what this means basically is, you guys know, for the demons specifically, a lot of guilds, what they're trying to have you guys do is be versatile to have, maybe 12 to 14 of your main weapons. Or your other weapon, like say if you're a blade user, have 12 to 14 blades and spears, and then to have 6 at least, optimally, of the heavy and projectile. And simply that is because unless both demons for that fight are blades or spears, you're going to want to have some kind of hammers and bows to basically aid your guild into summoning that demon first, because getting demon summon is such an impactful thing in Colosseum. So, but with this, if you're running a half nightmare, you basically can't do that because your damage is going to be so bad that I don't even think it's worth it, even for the demon triggers, to run them. So that's going to be basically the advantage and disadvantage for running a half nightmare Alice. So for the first one at least. So, but I like that. I like that it gives you a very big increase of 30%, but a huge, drastic decrease if you're not using the appropriate weapons. So that is pretty cool. So yeah, it says you have to choose your gear a little more carefully. So next we have infinity weapons, which are going to be multiple evolved weapons, which we're going to go over in today's video for you guys, which is basically going to be kind of the wrap-up of the video once we conclude that. But they are basically going to be weapons that actually are going to start off lower than the normal SRs that you guys pull from banner gachas overall. But once you get them evolved to a certain level, they are going to be better overall stat-wise than those. And you even get abilities upgraded as well for those specific weapons. So first of all, let's talk about the Black Spear of Restriction, which we have on our other side of our screen here. This actually should be the weapon for Alice. Now, this is not an infinity weapon. This is a regular SR to legendary weapon. And it's going to deal great magical damage to 1 to 2 enemies and decrease their magic defense by a small amount for 19 cost for story, and then 22 SP for Colosseum. Or I'm sorry, cost is 19, 22 SP for both. I'm an idiot. So yeah, 22 SP to do both skills for both story and Colosseum, and then it has replenished magic, which is one of the better skills overall for DPS. Probably second, I would say, or unless you have a skill. I think the Royal Shop has maybe a support skill that does like 2 stat debuffs, something like that. Can't remember off the top of my head, but overall Replenish Magic is, you know, usually around second next to Dauntless Courage. So very, very good. Stat-wise, which you guys will probably get out of it, is going to be 4786, which is having no limit breaks once you legendary it to level 80. If you do get it to 120 somehow down the road, I believe this weapon is only available to get through the shop, though, so it's going to take a lot of Gran Colosseum grinding. You will eventually get to 6146, which is I think it's maybe a little bit more than the average in gacha currently, but it's definitely like nothing that I would be like, oh man, if I can't get it limit broken, I'm going to feel bad. So definitely very, very solid weapon though for her half nightmare class. So let's go into the other two. From the artwork, we know for sure will be in the shop. And the first is Viscera of Justice, which is going to have a tier 4 healing skill on Healing of Light that costs 18 SP. Heal 1 ally by a massive amount of HP. So probably going to be very close to a full heal. Very, very good, especially for Colosseum. If someone's getting revived, you can immediately stack that on top of them, get them back to full, so then they're not in that range of dying. And then has Recovery Support 1, which we know Recovery Support and Support Boon are the 2 best support skills for Colosseum specifically. Fixed chance to slightly increase HP recovery when healing, just overall super, super good. So now we're going to see here, this is how it scales though, guys. We have our normal 40-15-5 for our scales, eyes, and shackles. But then you need the specific Gran Colosseum Nightmare material. Now, to buy the weapon, as long as they don't change the ratio of what it costs currency-wise for Gran Colosseum weapons, for the Infinity weapons, it's going to cost you 80 to buy the weapon. And then it's going to cost you 150 to get the one material to then evolve it to a Legendary 1. Now, you guys see your Legendary 1, once you get it to Legendary 1, this is then what the stats are going to be. So, at level 80 here, the first legendary stats, it's going to be 5140 and 6660 for a limit break 120. Then you can go to legendary 2, which is the same thing. It doesn't actually go up in materials, which is good. So it's still 1 nightmare material, and then the 40-15-5 are the regulars. Then it's going to go up to, but you guys see here, Already, Healing of Light got an increase when you go to Legendary to heal 1 by massive amount, and then increase their physical defense by a small amount. So then we go to L2. It goes from level 80, 5306. Before it was 5140. Not a big increase, but about a 250 increase there on the stats. And then you guys get heal 1 ally by massive amount, increase their physical attack and physical defense by a small amount. So look at that skill there. That's shown quite a bit of improvement. Still recovery support 1 on the support skill. So 5306 at level 80. Then we go to 5540 at level 80. Then we go from heal 1 ally by a massive amount, increase their physical and attack by physical attack and defense by a small amount. But then you get recovery support 2 at your level 3. So very, very cool there. You do actually get to increase your tier to a tier 2 support skill. Then when you guys go into your level 5, you're going to get heal 1 to 3 allies by a massive amount and increase their HP. Or I'm sorry, increase their HP by a massive amount, and then increase their physical attack and defense by a small amount, and fixed chance to moderately increase HP while healing. So same thing, recovery support level 2. It's then going from 5590 back from 5540. So not even, actually very little increase in stats from the level 80s, actually. But it's the ability that drastically increases, because you have a chance not just for 1 ally, but up to 3 allies, potentially, for this trigger. Obviously, I think the healing targeting will probably be better the higher your skill level is, so keep that in mind for that. And then finally, I believe this is the last one, right? Oh no, it goes more. Okay, so that was this is an L4. So now we're going into the L5. That's right, it goes to L6. So L to L5, it goes to 5880 from 5590. So that is a pretty big jump in stats. That's a jump of about 300 stats there. Then you guys do 1 to 3 allies. Same thing there. Physical attack and defense by a small amount, and still recovery support 2. So the big difference from L5 is going to be the 300 stats. And then finally L6, guaranteed to heal 2 or 3 allies by a massive amount and increase their physical attack and defense by a small amount. And then you guys have still the recovery support 2. So the recovery support does not change from 2 once you guys get that, I believe, at 3, I believe. Yeah, looks like 3. Yeah, so 3 you get this recovery support 2. And then 4 is when you get the first chance to heal up to 3 allies. So, that being said, and then it tops out at level 80 of having 6197 in stats, which that is almost equivalent to a max limit broken legendary typically, or even more. I think a lot of time our max legendaries are getting something like, right now in global, like 5800 or something like that. So 6200 is insane at level 80. And keep it in mind, if you ever limit break this, it goes up to nearly 8,000 stats, which is crazy. But I would say, looking at this first glance, a very good goal long term, obviously it's not going to happen overnight, is to get to the L4, because you get the recovery support 2, you get the chance of healing up to 3 allies, and I'm sure that's what's going to be for the DPS weapon too that we're about to go over. So that is the staff, insanely good weapon. So now let's go into the Arm of Restriction, which is going to be a water sword. So it's going to start off with Wave of Destruction 4, which we know is deal massive damage to one enemy. Then it's going to fix chance to slightly increase damage while attacking, which is Dauntless Courage. We know that is overall the #1 skill for a DPS hero. So when we get to our first legendary, so you can get that first Nightmare material, you guys are going to get to 5268 stats, which I would say that's about, like I say, I think the legendary stats here for the evolution, it's pretty close to what we normally see in global as far as a level 80 stats. You guys know there. And then it will also increase own physical attack by a small amount. So the big thing here, for the DPS especially, is that normally, say for instance, like we look at Shameless Ambition, for instance, is just a straight up deal massive damage, but it does have Dauntless Courage too. But this increase your own physical attack by a small amount when attacking. It does not look like it's a fixed chance. That is a guaranteed. So you're always going to get increased attack while using this, even at the first like intro legendary 1 status. So that's something very good to note. So very, very good there. And it is a massive increase in evolution stats. Obviously almost, what is it, like 1,300 or something like that. So very, very good stat increase to going to level 80 from the level 60 of the regular SR. Then when we go into L2, you're going to deal massive damage to one enemy, increase own physical attack and defense by a small amount. You're going to get overall increase of, looks like 200 stats, or about 150 stats for that. Dauntless Courage 1 on L2. We go to L3. That's when we get the increase or deal massive damage to an enemy, increase own physical attack and defense by a small amount, and then get Dauntless Courage 2 at the L3. So once again, L3 is a very, very good goal to go for, to get Dauntless Courage and the attack and defense up. And then you guys see 5575 for level 80. Then we go into L4, 5712 from 5575. Deal massive damage to one enemy, increase own physical attack and defense by a small amount, and increase combo count by 5 when comboing. That is absolutely huge. And you still have Dauntless Courage 2. So that is pretty insane. L4 definitely is what the goal to be is here, but definitely even L3, I think even just getting it to Legendary is going to put it on par with a lot of your Dauntless Courage 2 massive hit skills, like the Spellsmith book, or the Spellsmith Blade, and Shameless Ambition. So, but once you get this to L4, it's just going to blow it away. 5712 at level 80, getting massive damage to one enemy, increasing your own physical attack and defense by a small amount, and combo count by 5 when comboing. This is just crazy. And then when we go to L5, 5875 from your 5712. So not a big jump in stats there. Deal massive to one enemy, increase own physical attack and physical defense by a small amount, increase combo by 5 when comboing. Still Dauntless Courage 2. And then finally, the L6. Deal colossal physical damage to one enemy. So you get an increased multiplier at the max level 6. And then increase own physical attack and defense by a small amount, increase combo by 5. And Dauntless Courage 2 stays the same. And then a 6201 at level 80. So, guys, it is just pretty crazy to see the big difference in stats that you guys see here from the intro to an L6. So, that's going to be the video, guys. It's already gone a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I did really want to go in depth to show the importance of Gran Colosseum and what these weapons can do for your grids and for your guild, of how massive improvement they are. Remember, they should be the same kind of style of rewards that we get as regular Colosseum, that like the whole guild gets the same rewards. It shouldn't be like the guy doing the most DPS or the most healing or the most buffing or debuffing gets more rewards. So it's definitely a team thing, which is what I do really love about this game, is like your guild's all in there for each other. It's not for, one person over the rest. So, let me know what you guys think so far of what we know about Gran Colosseum. Let me know what you guys think of the weapons that we know about so far, the Half Nightmare Alice Paladin, all that good stuff. And let me know what you guys plan to do for Gran Colosseum. Are you guys going to enter, or are you guys going to stick with regular Colo? Let me know. If you guys have any questions specific about Gran Colosseum, I will do my best, or Spoot will do his best to answer the best we can. And I thank you guys so much for watching the video today. If you guys did enjoy today's content, please, please, please make sure you guys leave a like down below. Comment down below what you guys thought of the video. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next upload here on Fort Misery Gaming. And I thank you guys so much for the support. As always, have an awesome day, guys. Have an awesome weekend. And be safe out there. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. All that good stuff. And we'll see you all next time. Later, guys.